In February 2025, President Donald Trump introduced a new program. Now, what is this program? This is the Trump Gold Visa Card. And why I today want to talk about this is because this is gonna be a direct investment to residency and eventually leading to citizenship. Of course, more details are yet to be announced officially, but today's video is going to be all about the information that we have gathered till now and what are the pros and cons. Hi everybody, I'm Shireen Kapoor. I'm a legal advisor and a global immigration advisor here in the UAE, and I'm gonna today tell you about this US Gold Trump Card. Now, when we talk about the US immigration, you need to understand one very important thing when it comes to the North American market. They have been immigration dependent since, I think, time immemorial, since a long time. US and especially North America, that is Canada as well, has been dependent on immigration. And as per my, whatever experience I've gathered by living in those countries, is that they're heavily dependent on immigration policies. Their immigration policies are long term. Of course, one or two programs here and there come and they go, and when they've experimented with it. Same happened with EB-5 when it was the US program. A lot of people were supposed to did invest from all over the world, approximately $1 million. And with that investment became a lot of scams, sham developers, sham projects, wherever you could, you should have not ideally been investing, but a lot of this scams happened in those immigration programs. Now, what essentially Donald Trump is doing is that he's removing all those barriers in immigration, especially for high net worth individuals. And why? I'm sure a lot of people feel that, the con is that the US has a very heavy taxation system and the global income is taxed. But this is where the new tax laws that are coming into play are going to play a major role, is because the Trump card, when it comes, will come with residency, and that is a green card. And they are saying that, as per the information now, that the global tax of the income will not be there. So if you are a person who's taken the Trump card, got the green card, and the process, by the way, is also going to be really streamlined. So if you have done that and you have global income, this was the biggest fear of people. And if you have that global income, it's not going to be taxed in US. So that's one of the major benefits that I feel right now that this program is going to offer. Of course, the investment amount, which is $5 million, is not a small amount. But as of now, it's still an investment amount into one of the most secured forms or assets in the world, which is the US bonds, because it's backed by US economy, which is, by the way, the biggest economy even today. So yeah, that's what I feel. I feel that these are the two pros. Of course, there are certain clarities that have to come into play when they announce it officially or with all the information, which is soon going to be. And when it comes to the returns of those investments of the bonds that you've done, or whether that investment is also going to come back after 10 years, is yet to be clarified. One more benefit I feel that this program is going to do is that in EB-5 there was a very big requirement, which was, by the way, a very hefty requirement on the person who was taking the card to do job creations in US economy. This is what they have evicted altogether. This is now no more a part of the plan when it comes to the US Trump card. US Trump card is not even targeting any particular nationalities, etc. It is for the ultra high net worth individuals, or even the high net worth individuals looking to set up and move to US for their families, for themselves, for the biggest market share, for the economy, whatever the benefits you can think of a US passport. If you see US citizenship, I still feel personally, and this could be my personal opinion, when it compare US citizenship vis-a-vis Canadian citizenship, let's say, the amount of importance US will give to its citizen is unmatched. So that's why people like that sense of security that US gives them. People like that financial benefits for your children when it go to tuition fee globally, that kind of benefits that US government, US passport holder can get. What US government also used to allow was birth tourism, which has, by the way, been absolutely removed. It's now illegal to give birth on tourist visa in the US. So you can imagine that a lot of immigration programs were being misused and abused, and once they have been abused, only then these governments realize that something needs to be done, and that's where Trump gold card comes in. I feel a lot of people, especially across the globe, especially in the different types of society, not the capitalist society, but in different types of society, do feel the urge or do like it. It's like a love-hate relationship. They do like the capitalist feeling of the US, and somehow they love Trump's policy as well. There is a section of people who still love that, and it's also because the way he does things, it's so fast, it's fast paced, he's a good decision maker. There are of course pros and cons to every political move and every political leader, but this is what I think will have a lot of attraction for the US Trump card, and especially for the people who want to be in that capitalist kind of ecosystem. So that will be given by this. And one more thing, I feel that this entire problem of immigration actually starts when the process delays are there. Now if you look at the programs, when Canada started this program, when US EB5, all these investment migration programs, the biggest problem was the process timelines. And now when Elon Musk himself, the team is developing the application for the Trump card, so they are saying it is right now under, obviously under consideration, but what we are hearing is in the immigration industry that this entire application, this entire process can be completed within a span of 1 month. Even the PCC, the police clearance certificate, which is a very big document for due diligence, is of course gonna be absolutely an online process, and you can upload your documents from there. So we are yet to see that interface, but this is what we are hearing, and I think it's very interesting because one of the biggest barrier to any immigration is the process timelines. If you today ask me about Portugal Golden Visa, about Canadian Startup Visa, of course they are 2 to 3 years of process, and it's a time thing. Sometimes people lose their hope. Sometimes in those 2-3 years people change plans, goals change, anything changes with your family. And if it's just about investment of $5 million, which I know by the way is not a small amount, but if it's about that, and if there's also a return guaranteed after 10 years, then it's a very, very good pathway, I feel. Now let's talk about, so these are the good things, but there's also another side to the coin, and we should also discuss that, because remember, this channel is all about healthy discussion. And I also feel that the first challenge that they're going to face is the Trump unilaterally doing all these changes in the law. So that's something that is going to be like a problematic or a time consuming task, because when you will have to change the tax law, when you will have to take Congress approvals, all of that is obviously a time consuming task, and that's what critics are saying, that is something that you need to give consideration to. Another reason I feel that entire American value system, because in the entire US market, when you will see, or US in general, have there's a lot of focus on American value. Recently also when US and Canada had a trade war, there was a lot of focus on Canadian value, US value. So the nationalist feeling suddenly arises, and when people get to know that there's no job creation to this, and it's only about like clearing the debts of the US economy for this program, that is when people also come and show some resistance, and that change, in that resistance of change. So these are the two major, I think, pitfalls of this program, and rest everything as of now looks very promising, because US can see that a lot of countries have benefited from proper immigration system in place, from investment migration. Then US has also thought of probably channelizing, monetizing this in the right way, and that's what it is doing. Of course, we are yet to see the other side of it. What are going to be the red flags? How, if the system should not be abused, how's the software going to be? How's the the interface for the application is going to be? All of those things are yet to be announced, but even till now, whatever information we have, I feel if the tax part and plus the investment part, the return part in government bonds is secured way, then it's very good. Also, one more thing I like to add here, that a lot of focus is not just being given to private individuals but also to corporates. The corporates can also apply this for their senior management. If it's going to be per person, it's going to be corporation paying entirely for itself, yet to be seen. But what they do plan is, the US government, they do plan to sell 1 million of these cards. So that means that this is going to be a very good revenue generation for the US economy. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. This channel, this playlist is going to be a lot about investment migration, and with proper comparison and red flags as well. Onshore, offshore, Caribbean, Canadian, Portugal, Canada, US, anything that you can think of when it comes to the immigration world. We are specialists in this, especially I've been doing this for last 7 years. So I'll be able to guide you through, and I hope you enjoyed today's video and many other videos like this. Stay tuned to my channel, like, subscribe and share this video if you think this is helpful, and yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you.